Welcome to the second video in the Lending 101 video series. Today we're going to talk about the pre-purchase consultation. And so in the first video, we did our dreams and goals call, didn't do a lot of the talking, asked a lot of great questions, and let the potential client share, their dreams, their goals, their fears about buying a home. And we took really good notes and put that into our CRM. After that, they'll fill out their loan questionnaire on our secure website, and then that information uh, comes to us and allows us to work on an approval. During that process, the client will provide documentation. They'll upload it through a secure portal, pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s, driver's licenses, all that good stuff. And then once we get all that documentation, we then schedule the second call, which is a required Zoom call or in-person call, which is our mortgage planning session. And I'm going to share my screen here and show you what that looks like. I'm going to go through this a lot quicker than I normally would. It's usually about a 30-minute presentation. We want to make sure that the client feels really comfortable about next steps, who's in the process, what they can expect from our team moving forward. And it gives them a really good insight on why they should hire our team as their mortgage team, because we do a lot of other things that a majority of lenders just do not do. And so it's all about education, transparency, and making sure they feel comfortable with each step along the way. So this Zoom or in-person meeting, as I share my screen here, is going to look like this. And with their permission, we can always record this meeting and send it to you if you would like. But it'll start with congratulations to, in this example, the Jordan family. Let's walk through your approval. And so they know that they're approved on this call. And so we want to introduce them to their real estate team. There's you, the real estate agent, arguably the most important person in the entire process for the buyer. We make sure that we've again edified the referral, that they know who you are. Maybe you don't know them super well, and we can help kind of solidify that relationship. Maybe they're a long time past client you've done several transactions with. Either way, we want to make sure that they understand how pivotal you are in the process as part of their real estate team. We talk about the pre-underwriter. Nobody ever talks about underwriting. That's a human being. That's actually, I would argue, the most important person in the process, because they actually approve the loan for financing. And so we talk about why we want to get full underwriting approval up front to get in front of that pre-underwriter. And then we talk about me as your loan officer or rate strategist, because that's a lot of what we do is strategize the optimal financial situation and structure for you based on, again, your short and long-term financial goals. We'll talk about their home buying goals. What questions do you have as we start this meeting? We'll let them tell us what they want to get covered during this call. And if they don't have any questions, we quickly move forward, because inevitably they'll probably have some as we go through this. We go over their total cost analysis report. This is a snapshot of what the numbers look like. And we make sure that they see, based on kind of today, here's a strategy that you could pursue. And it helps them and us get an idea of what price point makes sense for them, what their payment objectives are, what they can afford in this market, any creative financing strategies that we should implement to help them increase their affordability. We go over this via our total cost analysis report. And we ask them a simple question, what do you understand about mortgage rates and how they fluctuate? 99% of people do not know what actually causes rates to move up or down, and the fluctuation that occurs. They don't understand how any of it works. Well, we talk about mortgage-backed securities in the bond market. We show them part of our software. We have instantaneous access throughout the day to what rates are doing on the mortgage side. We explain floors of support and ceilings on where we see rates trending, and how that not all clients are created equal in terms of any rate that you can get out there. It's not just available for anybody. It's based on where rates are at the time that they get into contract. It's also based on a lot of the factors: credit score, down payment, occupancy type, product type. there's over 30 factors that go into configuring the interest rate that a client gets. We go over a lot of that so that they understand this is not a just click a button and get a rate type of situation. It's a very customized process, and it's important that they understand and we kind of show them the behind the scenes of what we look at on a day-to-day basis. We talk about online rates and how they're meant just to get the phone to ring. It's a marketing gimmick. They'll quote a rate, and when I say they, it's online, lenders that are not entirely forthright in being honest about, is this even a good deal for the consumer, because they load these rates with fees. And so we talk about that as well, and how we have over 120 investors we work with, and we can shop the rate for our clients and do all that heavy lifting for them. And we explain how we're compensated and all that. We talk about an example rate board and break-even analysis for how long we think they're going to be in this home based on what they're telling us. We then take a snapshot of our actual rate sheet and show them you can get any rate you want, you pick your rate. Rates are a byproduct of cost. And so here on the left side, you'll see rates vertically there. And then it shows the cost in the form of what's called discount points to acquire that rate for their situation. So again, it's up to the client. The client can have any rate they want. If they want 3%, they can get it. They're just going to have to pay a lot of money for it. And so we talk about, does that make financial sense? It's all about getting them educated on how all of this works. And we get a lot of good feedback on this rate board that we show them. We ask them another question. Do you think home prices will go up or down over the next few years? More often than not, we get the answer, well, yeah, I think they'll go up. Okay. Well, let's talk about our buying now versus wait report and how that can cost you as a consumer by waiting a year. In this example, we took a property in Snohomish and showed, well, what if you bought the house for $815,000 now, what that would look like. But if you waited 6 months to buy, that house that you could have bought for $815,000 is now going to cost you $838,000 based on the home appreciating 2.83% over those 6 months. Over the year, appreciation forecasts are 5.67%. That house is now going to cost you $861,000 because you waited a year. So even if rates come down, you want to be able to buy now if you feel like prices of homes will go up down the line, because again, marry the home, date the rate. We're in a current climate where rates are coming down. That's great. But if you wait too long for rates to come down too much, you're going to open up that feeding frenzy of buyers coming off the sidelines. Now we're in multiple offers again, and we bid prices up drastically. So we talk about, if you can do it now, why waiting it will cost you money if you fundamentally believe home prices will be higher 6 to 12 months from now than they are now. And that's usually the case based on historical trends. This software and this report really shows the client that, oh, okay, we maybe should look at buying now. We're going to cost ourselves $23,000 or $46,000 if we wait. And again, we show the breakdown of all of these numbers based on conservative estimates, not pie in the sky, aggressive, non-realistic forecasts. We talk about our Bulletproof Buyer Strategy. How can we help you hiring us as your lending team to massively increase the odds of you getting into contract on a home? And it starts with a couple of things which I'll get into, but for those Wayne Gretzky or hockey fans, he had a famous quote: skate to where the puck is going, not to where it has been. What happens to the housing market at 5% rates, which we see being the case here in the next 6 to 12 months? What will that do again to the buyer pool? And what will that do to home prices? The clients answer that. And so we explain to them on how you can become a bulletproof buyer now and what goes into that. And there's 4 parts of it. Comprehensive upfront market analysis. That's part of the presentation we're giving now to the client. We want to make sure they understand why the housing market has been resilient and why we feel like it's going to continue to appreciate. We give them data, not opinions. We talk about our appraisal gap strategy, how we can help cover any appraisal concerns in case of a low appraisal, how it's not going to impact your ability to get a loan, and in most cases, not really impact your payment or cash to close very much at all. we talk about why it makes sense to get full underwriting approval up front at no cost from our team. We'll get the actual underwriter to pre-underwrite your loan now before you look at homes with your amazing real estate agent, and why that's going to help us close you in 10 days. You can waive your financing contingency. You have peace of mind that your loan's good to go and that there's no issues with it. It is a no-brainer in this climate that all of your buyers should be getting bulletproof, uh, being bulletproof buyers. And part of that is getting full underwriting approval up front. We're very passionate about that, and we make all of our clients do that if they're going to work with us, because I want them to have a really good experience once they're in contract. We don't want fail sales. We want to make sure everyone is happy with the outcome, and it starts with making sure the loan's not going to fall apart while we're in contract. And then we have bridge loans, which we can offer, but the buy before you sell and submit an all cash offer, we have the ability for you to get into a new home prior to selling your current home through bridge loan financing and other product types that we have. That's going to be advantageous for a buyer who doesn't want to have to move twice and or doesn't want to have to sell first because maybe they want to list their home and stage it and make and get top dollar for it, and they need to be out of their current house before they list and sell it. We have options for that, and we go over that. Real estate's got a 90% win rate starting in the 1940s, and this is where we go back to, do you feel like home prices will be higher a year or two from now? Well, I would not want to bet against the champ here. When we look at real estate, it's 74, 7, and 1. If you're talking about a boxing record from 1942 up until 2023. We'll get the stats for 2024, obviously, as we close out this year. But look at the green. And you can see by decade what real estate nationally has done from an appreciation standpoint. In the 1940s, it went up 129% during those 9 years. There's no data in 1940 and 41. In the 50s, real estate went up 36%. You can start to see what everyone seems to remember is the 2007, 8, 9, 10, and 11 mortgage financial crisis, where we lost a lot of mortgage lenders. Obviously, there was vacant neighborhoods with delinquencies and foreclosures. That's what's fresh in our minds still, even though that was several years ago. But that was a 5-year run of negative appreciation. We had depreciation, which was great if you were a buyer at the time, bad if you were a seller, obviously, but that's what we think real estate's got the capability of doing on a consistent basis, and it just does not. We show this because we want to make sure people understand real estate is a phenomenal investment, one of the best investments you can possibly make, and its track record speaks for itself. We go over this. It's got a 90% win rate on thinking you're going to time the market perfectly and how prices come down a lot. You're going to price yourself out of the market. And we show them this, and this is an eye-opening graph for them to see. We talk about how this cycle is nothing like the last cycle. And when I say the last cycle, I'm referring to the 2008 financial crisis, on what unemployment was 10% at the time. Now it's around 4.3% as of this recording. And you can see, compare and contrast to where we're at now, where the economy, the mortgage products available, the lack of the subprime market like was available back then, the foreclosure and delinquency rates are nothing like it was back at that time. So we explain that to our clients so that they understand they can feel confident buying in this current environment. We talk about the appraisal gap strategy, and I won't get into that too much more now. We talk about how a lot of cash buyers are out there. Over a third of all home sales in 2023 were cash. How can you compete with cash as a buyer who needs a loan? That's full underwriting approval and the ability to compete with cash, waive financing contingencies, close in 10 days. All of that's available for our buyers, regardless of loan product. We do it on jumbo loans. We can even close in 15 days on a down payment assistance loan. We can move quickly. We let our client know that our team will help them get into contract on a home and or save money because their financing is rock solid and we can move quickly. We talk about bridge loans, how you can buy your new home and move in before you sell your current one, hugely popular. And then we talk about our no-cost refinance program, which we call our rate redo program. We talk about what's happened in the past with previous Fed chairs from the 70s and the 80s with Arthur Burns and Paul Volcker, to Alan Greenspan in the 90s, and now currently Jerome Powell as our Fed chairman. And rates are coming down now because the Fed funds rate in this third column with Jerome Powell just this week went down 0.5%. So we are now in a rate cutting cycle. We show how that's going to drop inflation, and then mortgage rates will respond coming down as a result of that. The consequences of this will remain to be seen, but typically when we start cutting rates like this, we are about to enter a recession. So we'll see what happens. But we talk about when you buy now in an environment where we feel rates are coming down in the next 6 to 12 months, that's great for you. We will contact you after you've moved in if rates come down, and we will cover your closing costs as a past client and offer our rate redo program for you, and you start saving money from day one. Perks of our program, our rate drop program I just mentioned, we have a monthly equity My Home IQ report that goes out to assess the current value of your home based on, AI algorithms and all that, what their loan balance is, how much equity they have. Our clients love that. It's personalized to them. You as a real estate professional can get access to that monthly equity report for free. If you would like, contact me, and it's branded and all that with your info, and you can send that at no cost to all of your past clients. We talk about our annual mortgage review process. Every year, just like you go to the dentist or the doctor to get a checkup, we want to make sure your financial health is intact. So we schedule annual reviews with our clients. We talk about our VIP referral program and our client appreciation events. And so the next step after that, we tell the client, go shop for a home with your agent, and we will be ready to update your approval letter and help structure your offer when the time comes. And so that right there is, in a nutshell, what our mortgage planning session presentation looks like. Thanks for watching this. Let me know if you have any questions on that, if you'd like a copy of our presentation. But this is, again, video 2 of our Lending 101 video series on our mortgage planning presentation that we require all of our clients, after they filled out their loan application with our team, they need to go over and go through this PowerPoint presentation with us. And at that point, we ask them if we're the right fit to be their lending team to help them into their new home. And again, we make sure that those notes in that conversation gets reported back to you as the real estate professional, and that we're one synchronized team and everyone's happy. And so that's it for now. We'll be back next time with the third video in our series, and we'll talk about our pre-offer strategy call. When the client finds a property that they want to pursue, we then talk about how we can come into play as your lending partner and help strategize through a pre-offer consultation on structuring this in a way that's going to work for their financial situation for the buyers, but also, again, make sure that we are putting our best foot forward to get the offer accepted. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.